Today I'm driving the Fiat 500x with all-wheel drive. It's a good-looking car. I'm not usually a fan of Fiats, but this is a four-door and it has a really nice leather interior, plenty of fun features to play around with, a nice back seat with plenty of room for passengers, and a pretty sizable trunk. I was able to get a lot in the back seat, especially when you put down the seats, because this is kind of like a hatchback, so when the seats go down, there's quite a bit of room back there. This also has the new fueling system, so there's no cap to twist off. You just insert the fuel pump, do what you need to do, and then close it up. So here's the key fob for the car, standard buttons. Push button start is right where the keys are normally inserted in the car. I kind of like that it's in this area. And here's what it looks like when you turn it on. Steering wheel has the standard buttons. You got some keys right here to interact with the center heads-up display. Standard phone buttons. Buttons for the cruise control. Center display is pretty nice. The heads-up display, you can cycle through the typical trip. You can see what you're playing on your center nav console. I'm listening to the Bigger Pockets podcast today. It's pretty good. Speedometer on the left-hand side and RPMs on the right. The rest of the controls for the driver's side, standard lock buttons, windows, all feel really nice, and then the mirrors. And then you have your headlights, and then the dimming feature for the heads-up display. There's the center console. It's pretty small, just a couple inches. Nothing exceptional about this. I did like that there's actually a button to turn it turn off the volume, I should say. That's really nice. And then actual physical buttons to deal with the contrast if you want to make it lighter or darker. Climate controls all come with standard physical controls. You can't control it from the center nav, which I kind of like. There's actual readouts on here for the temperature for both the driver and the passenger, and there are just really nice knobs to turn to adjust things. A little bit down below, you see that you do have a connector for USB. You also have a heated steering wheel, and then heated seats for both the driver and then also the passenger. The heated steering wheel was nice, though I did notice that it was hottest up top and then not a lot of temperature down here on the bottom. But the sides where I typically rest my hands were fine. The gear shift in this car is pretty standard. There's a button right here in front. It slides pretty smoothly. You also have additional features right here where you can cycle through sport, regular, and then driving in hazardous conditions. And then there's a center console with some storage and a USB port in there. Center console is pretty deep, but it's not exceptionally large. This car does come with two sunroofs. Both of them have a sunshade that's manually operated. And then up on the top, by the driver's side, there's just a control to push to slide it open. It is pretty sizable, and it operates pretty smoothly. I'm 6 feet tall. I had to push the passenger seat up a couple of inches past what I would consider to be comfortable in order to even squeeze in back here. There's nothing too exciting back here. There's just a little bit of netting for some storage. There are no hookups of any kind in the center console. That's become pretty common with a lot of the other vehicles. And there is also no armrest in the center. So really all your passengers are getting are a single control for the windows and then the ability to exit the vehicle. They do get their own sunroof, which is nice. It's a small size, but I've looked around and I can't find any controls for it, so I don't think it opens. It also has a manual control, which I guess is nice, but it's a little bit annoying when you're driving the car without any passengers because you have to actually get into the back seat to operate the rear sunroof. I'm driving right now. I want to show you what kind of pickup this car has. I'm going about 50 now. I'm going to floor it. Oh, that took forever just to get it up to 70.